I wanted to start out tonight really quickly here with a repeat of something I mentioned last month that has shown quite a bit of interest amongst you guys. I briefly mentioned that I don't mind reviewing your niche selections or even taking a look at completed websites of yours to give you my thoughts on them. I mentioned this last month, and quite a few of you took advantage and sent me questions, and I've been working my way through those as quickly as I can. For anybody that wasn't here last month or might be watching this through a recording, that offer is still open at any time if you send me a support ticket at ryanstevensonplugins.com/support and mention that you are a Team Azon Pro member and that you would like your niche or website reviewed, and ask that that gets forwarded along to me. I will be sure to take a look at that and get you my review as quick as I possibly can. But I did want to mention, depending on the response that I get for that at any given point in time, it can sometimes take me a little while to work my way through those. Last month I received so many that I was still working on them today, and I think I still even have some more that I have not quite gotten to yet. Instead of going for speed with things like that, I try to put a lot of time into it and a lot of thought into it to give you a well thought out response instead of just something like, yeah, that looks great, because that's obviously not going to do you a lot of good. You need some actual feedback that you can use to either determine what you're doing wrong or to figure out what your next move is going to be. So that offer is still open for anyone. For those of you that may still be, okay, you're still waiting, Barbara. Okay. Yes, sorry about those delays again. Hope it'll be worth it for you once I do get that back to you. Actually, could be wrong, Barbara, but yours might be in my next one or two that I have to do, if I'm not mistaken. But I do try to make that available for you guys to help out as much as I possibly can. But I also try to take my time with those so your responses can actually be meaningful for you. And I don't expect for it to always take a couple of weeks to get back to a lot of you, like has been the case this first time around, simply because it's the first time I've really publicly made that offer last month. And so I got a little bit flooded with questions and stuff of that nature as a result. So I don't expect that in coming months, since I'm going to try to make this something that people are a little more aware of that I do offer. So it should keep them a little more spread out in the future instead of all being piled up on me at once. But I simply wanted to start out tonight and let you know that that is still out on the table for any of you that would like some personal help, and maybe you don't want to, mention your actual website or your niche choice or something like that in one of these live question and answer webinars where obviously other people will be able to hear my responses and things of that nature. So if you want to keep things a little more private and you'd like some help, then please contact me through my support system. And again, that's ryanstevensonplugins.com/support. Now, for tonight's question and answer class, for anybody that does have questions that they would like to ask me, please feel free to let me know at any time in the question box here. And even if I'm in the middle of answering a question, I'll be more than happy to get to yours as quickly as I can. Okay, not a problem, Mohammed. Mohammed is asking about in plugins settings, how do we tap into different locales, and how can we test our site if it's okay in different locales? I would assume you're referring to product style. Okay, let me pull up a site here. Okay, with the product style settings, you have all the different Amazon locales that you can possibly use set here. Number one, any locale that you want to use, you want to make sure you have either your Amazon affiliate ID entered or an associate ID. This could be like your tracking ID that you set up through your affiliate account. So it can be either one of those two. The country list here. This country list uses a 2-letter code abbreviation for various countries that are out there. And I have this set up with default settings based on the countries that the various Amazon locales ship to by default or without any additional shipping charges, essentially. Now, most of the locales can ship products elsewhere. However, the main idea with trying to localize links is to either present them with an ad or a site that's going to be in their native language, and or to present them with a site that's going to give them the cheapest possible shipping cost for a product. So you can try to manually make some changes to this if you have a particular reason for wanting to do so. Maybe you have traffic coming through from a certain country and maybe they can't buy products off of Amazon.com, so maybe you want to redirect them to a different one. This thing uses standard 2-letter country codes for all the countries. You can actually look up a list of these things if you need access to some of the other countries, because it does cover more countries than what are just listed here in these settings boxes. Now, with that said, the default and the active settings over here, these actually control which locales are going to be used and in what kind of a situation it will be used. First of all, anything that you want to use, any locales that you want to have activated, you want to set the drop-down box here to yes. On top of that, though, you can also mark one of your sites as the default site. Now, what's going to happen when you mark a site as the default site is that that locale will always be used for all countries that are out there, except for countries that are listed in other active locales. So, for an example, let's say I turn on Amazon Canada here, but I have Amazon.com as my default. In this type of a situation, residents from Canada would be shown ads from Amazon.ca. However, any other country besides Canada would then be shown Amazon.com ads. Despite this setting here that obviously specifies US only for Amazon.com, the reason why it would cover all of the other countries is because it is the default and it doesn't match other active sites. So using that, one of these can cover all of the possible countries, with the exception of other ones that you have activated. Now, there are a couple of things to understand as far as how this system really works. When you have an Amazon.com product, let me go to the main website here so I can show you what I'm talking about. When I have an Amazon.com product, you have a couple of things in the actual link. I'm going to paste the link up into the address bar here so we can see the whole thing. First of all, we have our affiliate ID, which is obviously specified in the settings. We have the actual Amazon locale, which could change if we are using the localization settings. And then we also have the product ASIN, which shows up here and then again at the end of our link. Now, this is important to know about because of the way localization actually works. By default, what's really going to happen is the plugin is going to look for the same product under one of the other locales, whichever one it is trying to localize this ad for. So let's say this particular ad on my page was going to be tried to localize to Amazon UK. It would basically be trying to reach this product right here. Now, the reason why this sometimes works and it sometimes does not work is because of the ASIN. Sometimes you have products on Amazon that are also listed under different locales using the exact same ASIN. However, in this situation, as you can see, I end up with this page. Looking for something, we're sorry, the web address you entered is not a functioning page on our site. This lets you know that that exact product is not available on Amazon UK, at least not under that exact same ASIN. Now, sometimes you may be able to go to Amazon. I guess actually I want to be going to Amazon UK here, and I could search for pins on Pyrenees, and I could try to figure out whether or not that product line is even available in that country. Unfortunately, there are a lot of niches where the products are simply not going to be available in other countries. As you can see here from my search, I'm not coming up with anything pins on Pyrenees. There are some results for pins on, so I could look a little deeper into that to try to figure out if there are other similar products. Sometimes in other countries, they'll give things that are the exact same product, they'll give it a different model name because there might be something different about it for the different countries that it's being sold to. A really good example of this is pretty much anything electronics. Even though you might have essentially the exact same TV as far as the specs of the TV and the brand of the TV being sold to different countries like the US and then to, for example, the United Kingdom, the actual product itself is going to be different with any electronic because of the plug. The plugs are simply different from one country to the next, at least with the US compared with European countries, for example. So because of that, you end up with what might be the same product, but it might be called something different. So I could go on Amazon and I could search for pins on down comforters to try to figure out if there are other down comforters out there. I don't know why it keeps showing my book up here. I could try to find something else that could kind of replace it. And sometimes it'll be listed under the same ASIN, and other times it won't be. Well, for this particular example, I'm really not getting much in the way of results for down comforters from the pins online. There looks to be maybe two. There's this winter one and an all seasons one. Even then, this is not going to be the same thing. I can already tell this says it's a duck feather, and I know that the Pins on Pyrenees stuff is not utilizing duck feather. So for this particular product line, localizing my links might not be worthwhile. It might be more trouble than it's worth. And you also have to consider whether there's a demand for the product in other countries. I happen to know from my research that down comforters really are not in major demand in necessarily all other countries, especially in the UK. I've been to the UK. It's a very mild climate over there, and I can't really see people wanting big down comforters. With that said, though, what your choices are, if you check out your products and you know they are available on other locales under the exact same ASIN, that is when you can rely on this system here to handle the link localization for you. If you want to test that kind of stuff, you can use these settings down below. Amazon site to test. You're basically testing as though you were matching up with a country from whichever locale you select here. So if I wanted to test Amazon UK ads, as long as I had my affiliate ID provided and I had it activated over here, then enabling the admin country testing and setting it to UK, saving my changes, then revisiting my live website, refreshing this page, and clicking on my ad, I would then come to that page that I showed you not long ago where it said, "We're sorry, this page cannot be found." So that would let me know that the automatic localization for these products would not work out. Do we need to select on.com first? Oh, no on.com. What's going on here when I have this set to no and on.com? Basically, when it's set to no here, the site's just going to operate as normal. And for anybody besides you, whether this is set to yes or no, the site will still operate as normal. What this is allowing you to do is, whenever you're signed in as the administrator of the site, to where you can access the back end here of WordPress, then you can go to the front end of the site, and you should still be signed in, so you should still see the little bar up at the top. And that simply changes the ads for you, so you can test exactly whatever it is you're wanting to test. If you don't live in the US, for example, and maybe when you have all these localization settings turned on and you go to your live website, maybe you're not seeing the Amazon.com ads because you don't live in the US. If that was the case, turning it on and having it set to Amazon.com, saving the changes, refreshing your live site, you would then be able to test the ads as though you were in the US. So it would be showing you Amazon.com ads. Again, as long as you have your information provided for it. Now, product style does go a little deeper than that. It can handle situations like what I have just shown to you with this pins on product not being available on Amazon UK, for example, under the same ASIN. What's going to happen in those types of situations is that you're going to have, let's see which one, I think it was the Pyrenees here I was working on. You have all of these settings down at the bottom, advanced country control and alternative products. What this allows you to do is to change how this one product is going to react in a link localization situation. And this is also dependent upon the settings that you have enabled. So let's say I have Amazon.com and Amazon UK enabled on this site, and maybe all of my products work out correctly for the Amazon UK links except for this one. Maybe this one shows me that page I was showing you a minute ago where it says, "We're sorry, we can't find the page." What I can actually do is make a decision with this particular product and choose whether to redirect to a completely different product or to redirect to a different country. If I could not find any good alternative that I could substitute for this product for a different locale, then I could simply choose to use the Amazon.com product instead. So for this example, on the UK, where that product was not found using that ASIN, I could simply redirect to the Amazon.com product. So it would still show up just like it is here with the Amazon.com ad, even if somebody was from the United Kingdom. However, the other pages on my site, the other ads on my site, would still get localized for people from the UK as long as I had that activated in my settings. This just allows me to control individual products, but it still depends on the main plugin settings. Now, with that said, the other alternative is to provide an actual product. What I can do is go over to the Auto Amazon page, and I could search for pins on down comforter, but I could do this under the UK site. And if you have it activated, it'll show up in this list here. So you can actually search under the UK site or the US site. Then I could find an ad for a UK down comforter that I would want to use as a replacement for that. I would create my ad in the system, just like I do my normal ads. But then when I am editing this original advertisement here, after I have already saved my UK ad, then I would want to find that UK ad in this list and select it. So then it would be redirecting to this other ad. So this is how you can get the system when the link localization will not work automatically because the products aren't listed on those other locales as the exact same product. You can redirect to other countries or redirect to specific products that you manually create ads for in this manner. So this way you get complete control over link localization. It's really just a matter of whether you think it'll be worthwhile or not to actually do this. As you can see, I'm on Down Comforter Guide right here. This is a live Amazon site that I built in Azon Masterclass 1. It gets a lot of monthly traffic and makes monthly Amazon earnings, but I only use Amazon.com on it because this market isn't really as big in other countries as it is in the US. And even more so, the products are simply just not available under those same ASINs. So I could try to find alternative products, but I would have to go through for each country and for each product to find those alternative products, create advertisements for them, and specify those ads in the settings for each of my original advertisements. So it can be a really time-consuming process if the automated way doesn't work out for your niche. There are niches where it works perfectly, and there are others where it doesn't work at all. So it'll really just kind of depend on what your situation is. You are quite welcome, Muhammad. Okay, good. I probably went into more detail there than necessary, but figured I would explain the whole system just to clarify that and how it all works, and whether or not to actually use it, because I think that's important as well. Let's see, I'm taking a look through a couple of other questions here. If anybody else has questions for me while I'm reading through and answering these other ones, please feel free to ask at any time, and I will get to you in the order that I receive them. Okay, let's see. Richard is asking, is there an HTML plugin that could be useful? I'm guessing you're talking about with the link localization I was just explaining. The plugin product style included with Team Azon Pro will handle the link localization of Amazon links at least. If you are using Amazon ads that are not created by product style, they could either be created by other Amazon plugins of mine, other Amazon plugins that I did not create, or even manually created Amazon ads and links. You can also use my plugin Local Azon, which essentially does the same thing as product style with the link localization. However, Local Azon will stretch out and actually try to find other links that are on your site and localize them as well, other Amazon links. With that said though, if you try to use product style and Local Azon combined, it's very important that you don't have localization settings set up in both of the plugins. Basically, you want to have product style set up just like this, where you have Amazon.com or whatever default Amazon locale you want to use. You have that as the only one set up in product style. It should be the only one that is activated. Then in Local Azon, you would set up the rest of them and have all of them activated. That way, product style will create Amazon.com links. Local Azon will then pick up all of the Amazon links, both product style and created by other things, and localize all of them together. If you use both localization settings together, though, you will end up with unexpected results. kind of similar things to using the Amazon shopping cart. You don't want to use the Amazon shopping cart in both product style and extend Azon at the same time. They will conflict with each other. So you want to have, for example, if you're using extend Azon to cover other Amazon links besides those created by product style, you have extend Azon enabled and you disable that feature on product style, simply to keep them from messing with each other. Let's see, Barbara is asking, how do I get my affiliate ID onto a Pinterest board? If I pin an image from Amazon and I copy it while I am logged into Amazon, will my affiliate ID be attached? No, I don't believe it will in that kind of a situation. Personally, if I'm trying to pin something and I want it hooked up to an Amazon affiliate link, and this usually goes for pretty much any kind of social media or external website where I want to try to get some added traffic from, instead of trying to link directly up to Amazon using an affiliate link, I try to link back to my own website. So what I would do in that type of a situation is I would set up a page on my own website about that product on Amazon, and then I would pin an image from my own page onto Pinterest. And that way, when people follow that from Pinterest, they'll end up on my site, which will then have the affiliate links on it. Now, while that is an extra step for them to take, it's an extra click of a link for them to actually get to your affiliate link. A couple of positives exist with that approach. Number one, you don't run the risk of possibly getting suspended through various social media networks or other websites that you're trying to get that traffic from. Some of them are sensitive to having affiliate links directly on their service, especially if if you just had a Pinterest board and it was filled with nothing but Amazon product images and they were all Amazon affiliate links going back to Amazon, ultimately I can see how they might reach a point, if they're not already there, where they say, this isn't allowed. There's no value to our members for, this to be here. So to avoid potential problems that way, I keep the affiliate links on my own website. But then another advantage to keeping it on my site is the simple fact that things change. You have new products that come along and replace older products. Sometimes entire Amazon listings will end up going dead or being replaced by a new model, or it goes out of stock and the vendor simply never replaces it. There can be a variety of different situations that pop up where an Amazon product listing may no longer be one that you want to promote. And if you have your link embedded on a bunch of different social media websites or other external websites, you end up having to go through and change them all to be able to update them. And sometimes you can't go back and change them. It just kind of depends on what site you're using. But keeping them all on your site, then you only have to update your affiliate link in one place if there's ever a change. You can make a change to that page on your website, feature the old product, maybe talk about what it's been updated to, and then provide links for the newer product instead. So you can kind of always keep that traffic fresh into the future that way as well. So as far as your Pinterest question, I would recommend to set up pages on your own website, put the images on your site, and then pin those images. That way the links are going back to your site. You'll be able to increase traffic to your website and still end up with your goal of directing traffic off to your Amazon affiliate link. But it also still leaves you in control of your link far into the future. You're quite welcome, Barbara. Muhammad is asking, I have different traffic results in Google and my host company. Why is that? That's a good question. Your hosting company will basically always tell you that you have more traffic than Google is telling you. The reason for that is because your hosting company is counting more traffic than what Google is counting. If you think about the way Google is tracking your traffic, you're putting your Google Analytics code into your WordPress site. So then that code is only getting displayed when somebody actually views a page on your WordPress site. However, there are a lot of other ways to essentially access your website besides just viewing one of your WordPress pages. For example, if you have images that are on your site, if you just visit the image URL, you're not going to load up a hit in Google Analytics. But your hosting company will register a hit for that because it can track all of your traffic. Other reasons for the different traffic numbers is things like Googlebot, for example. Your hosting company traffic is registering things like search engine bots that are checking out your website, crawling different pages to index it. However, Google is not showing you that information. There's a variety of other cases like that. It could be where Google is not registering your traffic, but your hosting company is registering your traffic. A lot of times it's simply just from access being made on different files and things that are a part of your website but aren't actually a WordPress page. So, like I was saying before, the Google Analytics code simply doesn't get processed in those situations, and only the hosting company is registering a hit on that. So, while the hosting company will tell you you have more traffic than Google will tell you, ultimately what Google is telling you is more accurate. It's really more along the lines of actual people visiting your site. They're going to potentially achieve the goals that you want to achieve, the whole reason you created that site in the first place, selling Amazon products and stuff like that. A lot of that extra traffic that your hosting company is registering, you basically have little to no chance of ever making anything off of them because they're not actually on your website. In a lot of cases, it's automated traffic, things like search engine bots, and there's also a variety of WordPress bots that'll go out and try to send a post to your site to make a automatic comment or a trackback, things of that nature. And they don't even have to visit your website to be able to do things like that. So that can also add to the hosting company traffic numbers, whereas the Google traffic won't show anything there for that. So rely on your Google traffic. That's more representative of real people actually visiting your website. The hosting company information can sometimes be useful diagnosing problems. If your website gets hacked or something like that, you can identify traffic coming in through somewhere that's not really supposed to be there that way. So there are uses for that hosting company traffic information, but as far as using that as daily traffic data to make adjustments to your website with and things of that nature, it's really not that reliable unless you're looking very closely at it to distinguish the real traffic from other kinds of traffic in there. Yes, Muhammad, that's a good question. If we direct someone to Amazon and they end up buying a different product than the one you're promoting, then will you get the commission for it? Yes, you will, as long as, I guess, a couple of conditions really apply. Basically, when somebody is on your website and they click on an Amazon ad and they end up on Amazon, you're putting a cookie on their browser, and that cookie will last for 24 hours. Now, there are a couple of ways that that cookie can disappear. Somebody could go through their browser settings and manually delete all of their cookies. Or they could find another Amazon affiliate website and click on another affiliate ad for a different affiliate, and then they would get a new cookie for that new affiliate and it would replace yours. However, as long as that cookie is still active on their computer, when they go through and complete a purchase on Amazon, you will get complete credit for the entire purchase. Whether it involves this product or not, whether it's one product or 100 products, but it all has to be done within one order, and it's the first order that is done after getting that cookie on their computer. And again, that cookie is only a 24-hour cookie. Now, if you're using the shopping cart system, this would be with Product Style or with Extendazon, you are getting a 90-day cookie instead of a one-day cookie. However, you have to be really careful about pre-selling when you're using that shopping cart system, because when they click on the ad on your site, or when they click to complete checkout in the shopping cart, they're going to get taken to Amazon to a page that asks them to confirm whether they want to add that stuff to their shopping cart or not. Until they click on the button to actually confirm adding that to their shopping cart, that cookie is not set with that shopping cart system. So it's a two-click process to get that 90-day cookie, whereas the one-day cookie is only a one-click process, and you're landing the person on a completely different page. The only time you're going to land them on this product page is by using the one-day cookie. And in a lot of cases, this can work out better than the 90-day cookie. It's really just about what your products are, whether you think people are going to actually purchase something within that 24-hour time period or not. If you're promoting a multi-thousand-dollar product, for example, chances are they're not going to make a quick decision like that. Promoting a couple $100 products, you can get, those quick decisions made within 24 hours where people will actually buy, actually refer a decent amount of down comforter sales through this particular website. However, there are things that come through this site that are completely not related to down comforters whatsoever. And I know they're coming through this site because I use a tracking ID specifically for this site that I'm not using elsewhere. So I can see that commissions are coming in for sales from other products. And this is a trend that I've seen as long as I've been running Amazon sites for. You're always going to get commissions for other products that you're not promoting. And that's where they're coming from. Sometimes they are bundled in with an order of a product you're promoting. And other times, you know, people might land on this page on Amazon. They might take a look at it for a minute. They might not be interested in it, but they decide to go and start searching for something completely different on Amazon, and they end up buying that instead. You get credit for it as long as that cookie is still active. Okay, let's see. Barbara is asking, Ryan, could you talk about placing contextual ads, please? If a website does not have Amazon type pages such as Fresh Store Builder, how do you recommend ads are placed for best effect? Okay, so non-Amazon type pages. You're talking about more informational type of pages, for example. If I have a number of these on my sites. Personally, I usually separate my informational pages from my product review kind of pages that are going to end up having my ads on it. So for that reason, I end up usually not having ads on my more informational based pages. If I have a website that's fairly heavy with information pages, then I will have product review pages on there. And typically what I'm trying to do is link up from my information pages to my product pages in relational kinds of situations. For example, on some of these pages, I will basically be referring to a brand or a type of product. Like on this page, it's the Down Alternative Comforters, talking about a synthetic replacement for real down. And I, at the bottom, talk about one of the lines of products, the Primaloft brand, that uses this exact synthetic filler. And then obviously through this page, then I end up having my Amazon ad for that particular product. However, if I did not have something like that where I had product pages that I could link up to, I would still probably just do something similar to what I have done here, except link up my Primaloft words here with my Amazon affiliate link, or maybe even put a small ad down at the bottom to go along with it. It just kind of depends on what'll fit in with your content. You can also run sidebar ads and do things like the exit page ads, which have popped up once or twice here. I find these can be really effective with more informational based websites because obviously people are going to leave your website at some point. They're either going to end up buying something from your site or they're going to end up leaving your site. And so I like to try to hit them with a last-minute advertisement before they leave the site, especially with the Amazon affiliate sites, because a lot of times the people that visit these sites, they're probably never going to come back to them. It's just the one time they're browsing through Google, they find your site in the search results, and so they click on it, browse through your site for a couple of minutes, and then they go to leave. So if you can stop them from leaving with one of the exit pages, for example, I find it to be effective without overloading your actual website with a bunch of ads. But as far as placing actual ads within non-Amazon type pages, those would be my main recommendations. Find a way to relate your content to a particular Amazon product, or maybe to a certain type of Amazon product. Sometimes you can provide a link to an Amazon search page. For example, something like this right here, I can go to this page and simply add a tag onto the end of it to represent my website, so I get the affiliate credit for it. And I can refer people to this link to search for Pins on Down comforter products. And I could do, simple links like that within my text content. The main thing I recommend, though, for things of that nature, whenever you're going to be linking just normal text in your content up with an Amazon affiliate link, if this was to go directly to Amazon, using the brand name and the product name, I think, is a good idea. Getting even more specific than that, though, can be useful. For example, I could change this last sentence to say something like, to find down comforters built with this material, click here to search Pins on Primaloft on Amazon. And I would have click here to search Pins on Primaloft on Amazon as an affiliate link that would then go to essentially this page on Amazon using my affiliate link. I've seen a lot of people where they'll use links like this that are affiliate links, but they'll kind of blindly do it. Like right up here, they might go, a lot of people are very concerned with allergies, and they might turn that into an affiliate link to the Amazon product page. Yes, people do end up clicking on those links, but I don't find them to be very effective. I find the conversion rates to be really low. And some affiliates try to play the numbers game where you send enough traffic to an offer and eventually somebody's going to buy it. And while that might be true, I prefer not to do it that way. I would rather send less traffic to an offer, but have it be qualified pre-sold traffic that is much, much more likely to actually complete a sale, because you end up simply with better earnings that way overall. Or at least I always have from my personal experiences. And I even do a lot of my email promotions in the same way. I'll blatantly tell somebody that there's something to buy on this page, and then I'll give them a link to it, instead of trying to talk really vague about it and provide a link like a lot of marketers do. Sure, people will click on the link, but then they get there and they realize, oh, he's just selling me something. And a lot of people instantly will close the page down. So I think the same kind of thing happens with Amazon links that are within your content. If people aren't really sure of what's going to be happening when they click on that link, then they might be blindsided by dropping on Amazon instead of being on your website. And they may end up simply just closing it down instead of giving it some real thought. Whereas when you're using very blatant terminology like click here to buy Pins on Primaloft on Amazon or something of that nature, people aren't going to click on that link and be shocked when they land on a sales page on Amazon. It's essentially what they're expecting before they click on the link. And this kind of mental preparation for online sales I find to be really important, and something that a lot of people try to hide a lot of times just simply to get people to click on the link. But I think the end result is a lot better when you're simply upfront about it and just say, hey, I'm selling something, I'm selling it on Amazon, you know, go and check it out. The people that are going to click on it are going to be more geared to buy, or at least less put off by the fact that you're trying to sell to them. That's a good question also, Muhammad. Although the answer is not necessarily a clear one. He's asking how much time it takes for a news site to build a reasonable traffic level, provided proper niches selected and researched as, per my training. It can happen as quickly as a week or two. I've had websites where I'm not even done building them yet, and they're already getting good search rankings and decent traffic levels. However, there are also some sites, if you go after something with more competition, it's going to take simply more time. Even if you provide the right amount of content and the right amount of keywords that you're targeting on your various pages, and you set up everything correctly, sometimes a website can sit there for even months and get absolutely zero traffic. And without making any changes to it at all, it can all of a sudden pop up in the Google rankings and start getting a lot of traffic. So the answer can definitely vary quite a bit. It can be from a couple of weeks upwards of numerous months. However, usually when you go after low enough competition, something where your Google all-in-title search, if you're getting 500 results or less with that type of a search for your primary keyword phrase, a lot of times I seem to be able to get pretty fast rankings within a couple weeks, or even before I'm done building the website. Other websites, again, that are going after slightly higher competition phrases have taken longer. Down Comforter was one in particular that took longer to actually begin working. But one of the things that I recall when selecting this niche was I knew the competition was going to be a little on the high side, and I still wanted to try it, to try to test essentially an upper limit of my strategy. I've tried testing an upper limit a number of times before, and it keeps working eventually. Down Comforter Guide, I can't remember exactly how long it took. I want to say it was at least 6 months before it really started getting heavy traffic levels, a couple thousand visitors every month. But it still achieved that, even going after something with what I consider to be higher competition levels. But going after something low competition, especially very low competition, you can often jump up in there within a couple of weeks. Dog crate sizes, one of the other sites that I've mentioned in my training, which I no longer own. I sold it off many years ago. But that website, before I was even done, it had top 10 Google rankings and was already referring Amazon sales. And actually sold it off only 6 weeks after registering the domain name with sales records to back it up too. So it definitely varies. The niche selection can heavily affect how much time it takes. That's definitely for sure. That's one of the reasons why I've put so much focus on niche selection in my training, because I find it to be really important for achieving at least faster results. Even with a poor niche selection, though, you can still get results. It just might take longer.